Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1840B, and today's date is April 12th, 2019, and the title of the episode is The Patriots Have the Deep State Exactly Where They Want Them, MOAB Incoming. Now, before I get started, I wanted to talk about the threats nowadays in America, especially with the caravans bombarding the border. One of the best things you can invest in for your home protection is a Patriot flashlight. And why not purchase one of the best flashlights on the market? It has life-saving emergency strobe lights. You can charge your phone anywhere, anytime, with a USB port. Other features include compass, rope, wire cutter, solar-powered recharging, high and low beam LED modes, glass-breaking hammer. Limited supplies last, and this is the very last chance you can get yours at a discount before they sell out. Purchase the best flashlight on the market and get 20% off when you use the code X20. Let's get into the economic collapse, political and geopolitical news. Now, the deep state, they are panicking like there's no tomorrow. You can see certain individuals out there that are tweeting, that are commenting on Barr about the spying, commenting on Assange, commenting on everything. And you can see that these people who are screaming the loudest, they have the most to lose. If we look at Hillary Clinton and we look at what she's been saying about Assange, she says he must now answer for what he has done. What did he do? Well, he downloaded her email and exposed her. She said the following: "I think it is clear from the indictment that came out, it's not about punishing journalism. It is about assisting the hacking of a military computer to steal information from the United States government. And look, I'll wait and see what happens with the charges and how it proceeds. But he skipped bail in the UK. The bottom line is he has to answer for what he has done, at least as it's been charged," the former secretary said to an audience. Now, what's very interesting is that these charges have nothing to do with 2016, have nothing to do with the election, have nothing to do with Russia. It actually has nothing to do with any of this. So assuming that Assange is successfully extradited, Julian Assange will stand trial in a courtroom in Alexandria, Virginia, where prosecutors from the Eastern District of Virginia will try to prove that he broke U.S. law by goading Chelsea Manning into turning over hundreds of thousands of classified documents. Remember, there is only one charge that has been levied against Assange: conspiracy to hack a government computer. And if he is convicted, it's 5.5 years in prison. Now, when we look at the Assange indictment, prosecutors claim that after Manning had already handed over hundreds of thousands of documents to WikiLeaks, Assange tried to help the former Army private and intelligence analyst crack a password that would have allowed her to access hundreds of thousands of documents. However, Assange never succeeded in cracking the password, at least not from what the prosecutors are aware of. What he did allegedly do was conspire with Manning to transmit the documents she had succeeded in stealing while, and this is key, encouraging Manning to turn over more documents when she expressed reluctance. So to support all of this, and to support the case, the government has obtained chat logs from March 2010 showing Manning communicating with a mysterious individual who alternatively went by the handle OX and pre-association. So the government believes this user was Assange. After transmitting hundreds of thousands of war logs from Iraq and Afghanistan and detainee assessment briefs from Guantanamo Bay, Manning said her stash of secret documents had run dry. After this upload, that's all I really have got left. To which her co-conspirator replied, "Curious eyes never run dry in my experience." So the indictment also references a claim made by Manning during her court-martial that she had discussed the value of the Guantanamo detainee assessments with the person alleged to be Assange. So at this point, they don't know it's Assange. It's a mysterious individual, and they believe it's Assange. Now, that's very interesting. So as for how they're going to conclusively prove that Assange was the individual who corresponded with Manning on the Jabber chat service they were using, well, that hasn't been revealed as of yet. And we can see why they might have used this charge, because it's going to take a lot to prove that it's Assange, because it's not his voice, it's someone typing into the chat system. And this is going to be very, very difficult. Now, the indictment that the Justice Department filed against Julian Assange in the Eastern District of Virginia charges him with conspiracy to commit computer fraud, like we said. The conspiracy statute is Section 371 of the Penal Code, and the computer fraud offenses that were the objectives of the conspiracy are parts of Section 1030. Now, according to the indictment, Assange and Manning conspired in 2010. Manning was prosecuted by the armed forces. The Justice Department's indictment against Assange was not returned until 2018, 8 years later. Now, the 5-year statute of limitations that applies to most federal crimes is prescribed for both conspiracy and computer fraud. So how is the Justice Department able to prosecute Assange on an indictment filed 3 years after the prescribed limitations period? Well, it appears that the Justice Department is relying on an exception in Section 2332B of the Penal Code that extends the statute of limitations to 8 years for acts of terrorism transcending national boundaries. Now, conspiracy to commit computer fraud is a very serious offense, and Assange's is at the top of the seriousness range because it involves publication of defense secrets that endangered lives, including the lives of our troops. And there's no doubt that the conspiracy transcended national boundaries. Assange was outside the U.S. when he collaborated with Manning, but is it really an act of terrorism? And was it him? Now, this is going to be tough because they're going to have to really prove all of this, because the original statute of limitations ran out, and they're trying to get him on this. So when you start to put all this together, it seems like this was put together to maybe fail in the end. Let's go back to post 874. And Q, this is March 7, 2018, right around when the indictment came out. And it says, Julian Assange, have you learned to and eliminate L6? What is L6? Many people say it's maybe a chess move. Other people say it's something else. We don't exactly know. And it says use logic Q. Then if we move to post 1708, it says Julian Assange. Why does the UK government desperately want Julian Assange? Think source files. The more you know. So they know that he has the source, or maybe not, because Q's been saying we have the source. That's interesting. So is Q saying they have the source files and soon to have Julian Assange to help with the entire case that has to do with Clinton and many others? Maybe. Now, something very interesting. Matt Gaetz introduced a bill dubbed the Pencil Act. And he called it the Pencil Act because Trump, well, he kept calling Schiff Pencil Neck. Now, this Pencil Act is to remove Adam Schiff from the House Intel Committee. Now, this is the actual name of the Pencil Act, Preventing Extreme Negligence with Classified Information License Act, or Pencil Act, a nod to Trump, who recently called the Democrat lawmaker Little Pencil Neck Adam Schiff. Matt Gaetz tweeted out the following. Today, I filed the Pencil Act expressing the sense of the House representatives that Congressman Adam Schiff should be removed from the House Intelligence Committee and his security clearance immediately revoked. Remember, Adam Schiff simply cannot be trusted with classified or sensitive information. He leaks, he lies, and you could see why they want him removed. Plus, he's been misleading the American public, saying he has evidence. He has all this evidence that Trump colluded, but he never produces it. Now, let's go back to post 3177. This is March 25th, 2019. And it says, why didn't POTUS fire Rod Rosenstein? Rod Rosenstein is in bold and kill brackets after reporting RE offer to wear a wire. Why did Whitaker Barr retain Rod Rosenstein to the end? Who signed off on the Mueller summary report submitted by Barr yesterday? We know that was Rod Rosenstein. Who signed fraudulent FISA warrants? Who appointed Mueller as special counsel? Rod Rosenstein. Rod Rosenstein. Who has full control? The Patriots. Optics are very important. Now, Q said this for a specific reason. Because Rod Rosenstein, he is behind all of this. And we see that Rod Rosenstein is now backing Bill Barr. So Rod Rosenstein brought in Mueller, was in charge of Mueller, and he told Mueller what to do, signed off on the FISA warrants, and is now backing Bill Barr. He said the following: he's being as forthcoming as he can. And so this notion that he's trying to mislead people, I think, is just completely bizarre, Rosenstein said. Trump tweeted out the following: Democrats don't like the results of the Mueller report, so now they're trying everything else. At Representative Doug Collins, they should stop wasting time and money and get back to real legislating, especially on the border. And the reason why they had Rod Rosenstein stay in his position, this is why Trump didn't fire him. This is why they allowed Rod Rosenstein to control Mueller, because they needed him to sign off and to show that he is the one that is handling all of this. And now he backs Barr in what he's doing, because optics are very important. Now, remember back in February 2018, Obama said the following, that his White House didn't have a scandal that embarrassed us? Well, it looks like that's all about to change, and is changing. Because what just happened, and we mentioned this yesterday, former White House counsel for Barack Obama, attorney Gregory Craig, was indicted by a grand jury in Washington for lying to the FBI and failing to register as a foreign agent. So, naturally, Obama saying he knew nothing about this. But already, we see there's a scandal. The first one that has ever come out. Now, this is interesting. Trump said the following: President Obama's top White House lawyer, Gregory B. Craig, was indicted yesterday on very serious charges. This is a really big story, but the fake news New York Times didn't even put it on the page 1 of their paper, rather page 16. At Washington Post, not much better, tiny page 1, corrupt news. Now, why did Trump point this out? Everything that we're seeing right now is leading up to the D-Class OIG and the treasonous crimes. Think about what the Patriots have been doing. They need to show that these individuals are corrupt. We just can't, release everything and everyone go, whoa, where did this all come from? So what they've been doing over time is they've been letting this information out slowly. So think about it. Obama spied on me. The Mueller report is a witch hunt. Obama did have something in his administration where someone was just indicted. A little bit at a time, they're allowing certain things to come out and showing the public that Obama is not perfect. I mean, think about it. Trump continually tweets that Mueller investigation is a witch hunt. It turns out to be what? A witch hunt, because the summary came out and it says no collusion, no obstruction. The full report's going to come out and it's going to say the same exact thing. And also, Russia didn't get involved in the 2016 election. Trump continues to tweet out about Comey, Clinton, Brennan, Schiff, Nadler, and the rest, continually pushing the truth, that he was set up, and there are many other crimes associated with these people. Trump continually tweets out treason in all caps, and the media goes crazy. How dare you? Barr releases summary. Mueller shows no obstruction or collusion. Deep State goes crazy. Media goes crazy. We want the full report. Rod Rosenstein appointed Mueller. He controlled Mueller because Sessions recused himself. Rod Rosenstein hired, managed, and signed off on the report. Barr was asked if Trump was spied on. Barr says yes. Didn't give evidence because they want the deep state to ask for it, which they did. The D class is waiting in the wings. Trump signed the statement back in September 17, 2018. Barr is going to release the D class information once the Mueller report is out. Nunes and Meadows, well, they just handed criminal referrals to Barr. Nobody knows who they are, not even those being investigated. To allow the public to digest all of this, they're letting this out a little bit at a time, getting everyone used to this, and showing that Trump has been telling the truth. Then Assange is arrested and taken from the Ecuadorian embassy after 7 years. Charges have nothing to do with 2016 Clinton emails. They have to do with hacking, and they don't even know if it was him. Assange has the source files. The Patriots have the source. They are needed now by the Patriots. He is the key. Obama's top White House lawyer indicted. There goes Obama's clean record. This is the beginning stages to prepare the public to show that Obama is dirty, that there was corruption, there was spying, there were scandals, there was treason. And as you can see, they're dropping all of these little carpet bombs over time to prepare the public. Remember what Q told us, that the public is going to have a very difficult time accepting all this? They're going to get angry. And I believe during this entire period of time, they've been doing and following this plan on purpose to get the public on the side of the Patriots, to show that Trump was not just out there spouting off conspiracy theories, that he was absolutely telling the truth. Mueller's investigation was a witch hunt. Trump continually tweeted out, there's no collusion, there's no obstruction. This is all fake, phony, and false. It turns out it was. It turns out that Obama did spy on him, that they used FISA warrants which were illegally obtained, and they bugged his office in Trump Tower. They were bugging him in the White House, listening into his conversations, unmasking certain individuals illegally. And from all the text messages, they were showing that all these people were going against Trump. There was a coordinated effort, a coup to take down the president. What do you think they've been doing this entire time? They've been informing the public very slowly and gathering all this evidence to drop the MOAB, the mother of all bombs. You need to prepare the public for what is coming. Because remember, the people that are sleeping, they believe that these people are squeaky clean. They believe that there was no Clinton email scandal. There's no Uranium One scandal. That Obama did nothing wrong. He's like a god, and he had no scandals that embarrassed his administration. If you notice, it's all falling apart now. Let's go down to the border. Trump is now trolling those who support illegal immigration and sanctuary cities. He tweeted out the following: even the Democrats now say that our southern border is a crisis and a national emergency. Hopefully, we will not be getting any more bad, outrageous court decisions. He continued, due to the fact that the Democrats are unwilling to change our very dangerous immigration laws, we are indeed, as reported, giving strong considerations to placing illegal immigrants in sanctuary cities only. The radical left always seems to have an open borders, open arms policy, so this should make them very happy. So what is Trump doing? He is trolling the Democrats. He's trolling the mainstream media. How did the mainstream media and the Democrats react to this? You think they'd be happy? He's going to put these individuals in sanctuary cities. Might not be the same sanctuary cities as they were placing these individuals in, but he will decide which are the sanctuary cities. So right off the bat, the Washington Post came out and said that Trump is targeting political foes. White House officials have tried to pressure U.S. immigration authorities to release detainees onto the streets of sanctuary cities to retaliate against President Trump's political adversaries, according to Department of Homeland Security officials and email messages reviewed by the Washington Post. Trump administration officials have proposed transporting detained immigrants to sanctuary cities at least twice in the past 6 months, once in November as a migrant caravan approached the U.S. southern border, and again in February amid a standoff with Democrats over funding for the Trump's border wall. And Nancy Pelosi came out through her spokeswoman and said the following: "The extent of this administration's cynicism and cruelty cannot be overstated. Using human beings, including little children, as pawns in their warped game to perpetuate fear and demonize immigrants is despicable." Adam Schiff took a break from whatever cable news program he was on and said the following: "Power corrupts, and absolute power results in dangerously harebrained schemes like this one, in which people fleeing violence are cynically used as political pawns." So why would any Democrat oppose this? Why would the mainstream media be outraged over this? Why wouldn't they be fully supportive of sending illegals in need of sanctuary to their own self-described sanctuary cities? We've been told for years by these people that illegal immigrants are a net positive. They supposedly commit less crime. They don't. Do the jobs Americans won't do and provide value diversity. The Democratic Party believes that so much that they refuse to do anything to stem the tide. The media believes it so much that they run cover 24 hours a day for lax immigration efforts. So how is this consistent to now complain that Trump wanted to send them exactly what they claim they wanted? Because he's going to send them to their cities. The elitists don't actually want their cities becoming home to masses of illegal immigrants. They would like them to stay in the cities that they choose, away from them. They don't want them in certain areas. And you can see that Trump is pushing the mainstream media, pushing the Democrats to lash out at how dare you send these individuals to sanctuary cities. Well, isn't this what Obama was doing? Buses would roll in and pick up these individuals, and he would send them off to sanctuary cities, and the sanctuary cities would receive money. The states would receive money. And now they're against this? You think Trump is doing this on purpose? Absolutely. He's pushing them to the edge. So they don't want stronger border security, and they don't want him shipping these individuals to sanctuary cities. What do they want? Can't have it both ways. And it looks like Trump has just cornered them, and he's going to use this against them. We see Kim Jong-un. He is consolidating power in North Korea. And this is one of the biggest leadership shakeups in years. He's changing people's positions. Why? Because he feels more comfortable now, and he's getting rid of those people that are not with him. It sounds very familiar to Trump, doesn't it? We see Haftar's Libyan army. They have now claimed control of the GNA military base. This is the UN government's administration that they placed in Libya. And it looks like there are more and more countries coming out supporting Haftar, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and the rest. So it looks like everything that the deep state has set up, it is now turning around. And it looks like the people are taking back their countries. And if you notice throughout the Middle East, everything is changing. The deep state, they're being pushed out. The people are being allowed to run their own countries. Now, something very interesting happened. There was an individual, and it's a man. He attempted to set himself on fire outside the White House, causing the facility to immediately enter a state of lockdown. Now, the video shows Secret Service escorting the man away from the White House after he tried to set himself on fire. Now, what's very interesting about all of this is that we've seen this before, where someone came up to the White House and they tried to shoot themselves or do something. And we need to go back to post X22. This is March 3rd, 2018. A demonstration was made today in front of the White House. It showed they can control innocents. It was a direct threat. This is not a game. The mainstream media is creating emotional conflict. This destabilizes certain minds to become susceptible to outside control. What you see is 2%. The war is real. These people are sick. Watch the news this week. So from this, it looks like we're having the same thing happen again. The deep state, they're sending a message to Trump. Yes, they can control innocence. And the next time, it's going to be much larger because they know what Trump is about to do. They know what the Patriots are about to do. What's coming? The D-class, the OIG report, the sealed indictments are going to be unsealed. Q has given us the placeholders. Those are going to be filled up. And I believe that this was a message to Trump and the Patriots. Well, guess what? Message received. Now it's the Patriots' turn. And you have to remember, the deep state, they play dirty. They know that this is coming. They know the D-class, the OIG report, and the rest is coming. And we've said it before. They're going to try to clog the news cycles. They're going to try to figure out when this is going to happen. They missed on the Mueller summary report. They produced their event a week ahead of schedule. They didn't mean to do that. They wasted ammunition. Then the Mueller summary came out and they had nothing to block the news. The same thing now with the D-class, the OIG report. But this has to be much, much larger because this is revealing what the Obama administration, what Comey, Brennan, Clinton have all done. This is much more damaging than just the Mueller summary or the Mueller report. And you can bet they're going to try to do something much larger. And I do believe that this was a message letting them know, don't do it. Now remember, Q, the Patriots, they're listening to chatter. They're using angel fire against them. And I do believe they know or they have an inkling of what is going to happen. And they're preparing for it. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.